The iron sails are coming into play.
The Genoa is out. We're not completely cheating.
And it worked. It actually just worked. We did it.
We're going to fall off the end and it's a flat earth after all. When you sail off the edge of the world, dolphins come to play!
Unfortunately, Brandy lost the dolphins.
Sorry, everybody. I know that we've been sailing for 2.5 years and we really should know better by now, but
One does not flounder, darling.
I mean, it just looks like we've actually anchored on top of a shipwreck. Last time on Red Seas, we sailed up the coast of Panama to Isla Pinos, where we joined another couple of dinghies and surfed our way into the mouth of a river. A local guide showed us the way into the mangrove forest, which looked like something from a storybook and was very good at getting us lost. We called for howler monkeys and saw the splashes of some crocodiles before taking to the jungle for a hike to the top of the nearest hill. The trek took us off the path and into the bush, where we immediately got lost, several times, and finally made it to the top, where we had to climb this phone mast if we wanted to see the view. It's time to head on again, and this week we're sailing to San Blas.
All right, so while that anchorage was super beautiful, unfortunately it was incredibly rolly. It turned out the waves were going to hit now and then we're round both sides and hitting us, so we were just rocking all over the shop. So instead we've decided to cruise on a little bit further up the coast. We're now almost to the edge of what would officially be, I suppose, the San Blas area. And we're sailing! It is so nice to be moving without the sound of the engines. I think for like the last 2 weeks we have had to motor everywhere because we've either had no wind or what I like to call Mediterranean wind, which is just wind coming from exactly where you're trying to get to, no matter where you're trying to get to. But today, maybe only for 20 minutes, but we have the sails up and we're moving. We're going at 5 knots and it's glorious. I love this hammock so much. We picked it up in Cartagena in Colombia and I don't know, just all these bright colors. It makes you feel so happy when you see it hanging up here first thing in the morning. Unfortunately, it's maybe not so good underway because I'm starting to feel quite seasick and I've only been in here for about 30 seconds. But you know, at anchor, it is a lovely place to relax. Been quite surreal learning to sail around Panama because the charts that we usually use on Navionics are just not reliable here. The whole area hasn't been charted enough to be accurate. So we have another set of charts on the laptop that we're running through OpenCPN, and then we're trying to look at both of them out here at the helm just to try and make sure that if anything gets shallow or we're going to hit anything, we just have as much information as possible. But it means that every time we move, it just takes so much more concentration than normal. So even though we're doing these short journeys, I am exhausted by the time we get there because the challenge level is just that bit stepped up. We're so used to the easy sailing of the Eastern Caribbean where the wind always comes in from the east and you leave one island and then it's, you know, open ocean but kind of sheltered until you reach the next bay that you're trying to get to, and it's all very simple and easy. And now it's just that extra kind of level of difficulty. We're just stepping up and we can do it. It just, yeah, it's another layer of challenge that I'm still getting used to. In fact, the extra charts that we're using actually came from a book and then they've been scanned in so that we can see them on the computer. And you can tell because every so often there's like a gap where the pages met. And yeah, it just means that we'll be sailing along and then it's like, oh, we're about to sail off the end of the world and there's no idea what might happen there. And maybe there's, I don't know, a giant waterfall and we're going to fall off the end and it's a flat earth after all. It's quite exciting. And apparently when you sail off the edge of the world, dolphins come to play! Hey guys! Where did they go? Where'd they go?
I promise there were dolphins here. It's just they heard me getting the camera out and they've all swum away again. Sorry guys.
right, you ready for our one and only maneuver?
So we've been building up to this for a long time. Yeah, no, I think we'll be okay. We're basically, this is one big sandbank that's turned into islands. So we're trying to get our tack to take us kind of towards that last island in the distance. And then we can get close enough. We'll probably have to, I think, drop the sails and motor in the very last bit. But all being well, we have a marker telling us that it should be around 65 degrees.
Let's test it.
Somewhere over there. So let's see. What can go wrong? Even going to remember to move the track back, which we never did.
Showing off now. Yeah, usually we say, okay, let's tack. And then we make the tack. And then we go, oh, we didn't move the traveller. And we have to decide whether to do it properly and tack back again and fix it, or just kind of fight against the power of the wind and try and fix it. And that's always the lazy approach that we take. So we're showing off today. Happy?
One of the features we were toying back and forth is that, as anyone who sails probably knows, when you have to tack, when you're cutting into the wind and you're going back and forth trying to get closer to your destination, we are no doubt not alone, that we will always end up in a long debate if we have to tack now or in a minute. And it's always too soon. We always tack too early and then we miss our destination. So he created basically an indicator that just tells us, well, if you were to tack, this is where you'd be looking. If you tack now, you'd be going on this heading. And it worked. It actually just worked. We did it. And we're going where he said we would be going. It's very surreal.
I don't think we've ever been going where we thought we'd be going after we tacked.
Not once.
I know that we've been sailing for 2.5 years and we really should know better by now, but no, that actually makes a difference.
That's ridiculous. Ah, it's so cool. Just need a selfie stick that's just a little bit longer.
Maybe you could train one of the dolphins to hold it for you.
Here, Flipper, come to me. Oh, give us a jump, give us a jump. All the way up. Woo! Oh, not quite big enough wave. We have another selfie stick in the post, I hope. And it's like 3 meters long. And this will be so much easier and so much cooler, because this hurts, actually. Knowing how cool that would look and not be able to capture it for you guys.
Just don't drop it. If you drop it, you're going in with it.
I mean, I have talked about swimming behind the boat when we see dolphins and seeing if I can like pull myself forward enough to be here.
Oh, that would be cool.
But I feel like the minute you do that, the dolphins will scatter because they'll be freaking out there's a human in the water. I don't know.
Probably.
That'll just come beat you up, because like not all dolphins are friendly, right? Where'd they go? Come back. We're not done appreciating you. There they are.
Well, they're all coming to play now. We've got 5 out here. Woo-hoo-hoo!
Find the pod.
Wow! There's about 10 of them and a baby. Woo! Look at you all! Haven't even reached San Blas, the island group, yet, but everybody says they are like incredibly special and a really, really cool place to come. And yeah, if the welcome is like this with all these dolphins, I can see why. I'm loving it already. Absolute paradise. Oh my goodness. What a welcome. This is insane. It's like an army, a battalion of dolphins. I don't even want to get to the islands now. I just want to stay sailing with these guys forever. Surely that gave you a good shot. You nearly fell in.
I nearly hit a dolphin with our GoPro. Sorry.
Oh, that was cool. I was filming and then went to hit stop and my finger missed the button and then like 5 dolphins all jumped out of a wave at one time. So nearly missed that shot, but luckily I missed the button and so yay! Dolphins jumping!
This is ridiculous.
Isn't it crazy?
I'm just gonna say, see when you guys get like 21-second clips of dolphins, this is what we're doing to capture them. This is absurd.
And I'm not mad about it.
Here comes a good wave. There's a good shot. And there's another good one. One more, there we go. All right, so clearly they knew exactly where we were going because we were just about to have to drop sails and turn, and they, like dolphins always do, just vanished. It's amazing how they do that. They turn up, they bring such a big smile to everyone's face, and then out of nowhere, it's just like, they're gone. And you don't know if they've gone deep, if they've gone away to either side of the boat or just fallen behind. And then you start looking for them and you can never see them. They've just gone. Anyway, we have to drop the sails and turn in, I think, in the next couple of minutes. The wind is dying on us anyway. So either way, we're here. What a welcome. Work harder, winch. I mean winch. Work harder, winch.
It hasn't been a very exciting week here on Indioko. We haven't even really been off the boat to explore anywhere. We've just been heads down in the laptops and doing a whole bunch of edits. But unfortunately, that's what you're here for. We can only film what we actually do, and that's what life is like right now. So we thought today we would just take you with us on a work day. When we started filming for YouTube, we were just filming our journey and putting an episode up every week. Since then, we have kind of branched out a little bit and we make a whole ton more content. You can see everything over on our website, red-seas.com. Our episodes are there every single week. We also do interviews with interesting people that we meet along the way. You might have seen some of our parody musicals that we do just for a laugh. And all of our I Now For You Wayfinder content is on there as well. So today's job, we need to head out, set sailing, and film some content to show people what Wayfinder is like when we are underway. So it's not very hard to find incredible picturesque landscapes to go sailing. We're very lucky here in Panama. So yeah, we're just going to head out into the bay, not even sure where we're going to end up. And we're just going to get some nice sailing shots, basically. So we're making some videos to show some of the features that Wayfinder can do for I Now For You to go on their website, which is pretty awesome, really, because it means that we just have to go sailing for the day and film what we do, which is what we do anyway. It's just an excuse to get out in the water. I feel like we might be cheating with the engines on, though.
Well, the term sailing only works when there's wind, and there's none today, and we have to simulate speed over ground on the system. So the iron sails are coming into play.
The Genoa is out. We're not completely cheating.
We're not completely cheating, but our throttles and our fuel consumption say otherwise. It's so ridiculous. Trying to make it look organic. It's really not working.
There's so many boats out sailing today because it's nice and calm, but with just enough wind to get the sails going. But I think everyone's going to be like, what on earth are they doing? Because we're just like going up and down in straight lines or like doing loops because we're like, oh, let's get the sails at this angle to capture something else. Sorry, everybody. Whee! Hi, guys.
The whole pod just went deep, except for these two.
All right, so we're just going to stop our whole work day because we spotted some dolphins and we can't resist. So sails away, turning around, and we might jump in and see if we can see them underwater. I love San Blas. There's dolphins everywhere. This is amazing. They're not even like in a hurry. They're just lazing around on the surface. So Ian is going to get changed and he's going to jump in. And we'll see. Hopefully we won't scare them away. We're just going to kind of hang around and see if they stick by close by.
All right, getting back to work. Unfortunately, Brandy lost the dolphins, so I was sitting on the back of the boat with my mask and my fins on, ready to go. Even set up a safety line for anyone who's out there concerned that we're being irresponsible. And then you're like, oh, they've gone.
Well, I think it was better to tell you before you jumped in the water rather than after, when you're there floundering around in the sea and I'm sailing off into the distance.
One does not flounder, darling.
So we're just coming into an anchorage here, and there's two Amels right in front of us, and one is a boat that we actually met the other day. So they just came over in their dinghy to let us know that it's like a really steep shelf, and so you need tons of chain. So we're going to kind of creep forward and see if we can get close enough to anchor, and if not, we'll find another spot nearby somewhere.
All right, I reckon we just squeeze in and see if we can get our anchor right beside one of the other ones, and that'll be fine.
Happy?
This'll do.
Nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's incredible. So the way it's set up, we've had to anchor just on the outside of a reef, but it seems like there's a lagoon the other side of it as well.
Yeah, we should go snorkel it, check it out.
Yeah, I think this is the kind of place we should do a beach bonfire tonight.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah, that'd be cool. All right, so I was just on a call with one of our patrons, and Brownie came out the water, and what have we done?
Oh, it's the creepiest thing. I was just jumping in. It's like, oh, let's go for a snorkel and like clean the hulls a little bit because the water's really nice here and we haven't been able to do that for a while.
Idea, yeah.
And we'd heard like an odd noise earlier, kind of, there's a sort of bumping noise. I came out to check if there was like a tree floating past that like bumped the hull, because that's kind of what you get here. That's what happens
around here. But then we also were messing around with our instruments and our Wayfinder system a little bit and testing some things. So we're like, oh, well, yeah, we're getting the occasional shallow water alarm, but that's not real.
Yeah, we're anchored in like,
meters
27 meters of water. So when we get a shallow water alarm, we're like, oh, that must be us screwing up the system.
Or a shark or a crocodile, you know, the stuff you get around here all the time anyway. What is it?
I mean, it just looks like we've actually anchored on top of a shipwreck. Our anchor chain goes right down next to the mast, and there's just, it's so creepy. I tried to free dive down just to kind of get a look at it, and I don't know, it was really weird. I was kind of like checking around that no one's going to jump out at me and scare me as I go down.
She watches way too much Pirates of the Caribbean. This is the problem. So I think what we're going to do is we'll try and lift anchor.
Yeah, I think we need to go in and have a look at it first so that we know what we're dealing with, because I can't tell. We've not been swinging too much here, so I'm hoping we're not caught up in it. But yeah,
otherwise we'll start
lifting
a shipwreck, which could be challenging. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna get some swim stuff on, and I think we'll jump in and figure out what's going on. Are you sure you aren't making this up?
If we get down there and it's not there, I am gonna be so freaked out.
No more late night movies for you. Right. It's gonna be a sight to behold. Show me where to go.
I really hope it's still there.
So that's like I would say it's probably at least a 45, maybe even a 52-foot swan. What? What?
How do we do these things?
That's ridiculous.
So creepy.
Oh man. Okay, we're definitely getting dived here. We're gonna go down and see that.
Yeah, we have to. How do we end up like this?
Other people have it easy. Other cruisers are like, oh yeah, we dropped the anchor for 6 months. It was great.
You didn't land on a shipwreck. Ooh, that's so
Look
great.
at me, I didn't land on a shipwreck. Yeah. Well, some of us do, okay? At only 10 meters down, we could already see that the anchor chain of Indy had gone right down the mast and was wrapping around the old radar dome on this ancient boat. Thankfully, it hadn't actually tangled too badly and we could free it up just by hand in between the swell. But this probably wasn't going to last too long, so I guess we're going to have to move. It's truly haunting when you see a boat sitting like this just straight up and down on the seabed. And to be honest, it kind of puts a chill in your bones, thinking that at some point, the home you love and live in every single day could end up just like this. This boat had clearly been sat at anchor when disaster struck. Its anchor chain was still out and its anchor was somewhere out there in the sand. I started hunting around for bits and pieces that might be useful, and to be honest, the winches didn't look so bad. But it's amazing what you can say in sign language, and Brownie was not convinced. So of course I looked for the helm, couldn't find the wheel, and then she started signaling that we had to leave for some reason. It's a shame, really. There's so many parts on this boat that could quite happily have a second life on Indy. Before we left, I took a quick peek inside, and it was really scary. Everything down to some mugs sitting on the galley counter were still intact. So clearly this boat went straight down, maybe in a storm, maybe deliberately. We just don't know. But either way, it's definitely time to move Indy out of the way.
Well, this looks a bit of all right.
Pardon what?
So this looks a bit of all right. Whoop woo!